reason once again. Oh, there it goes. I just had to look at... Oh, now it's like super loud. What the hell? Okay, hold on. Just a second. Just a pinch.
Wow,
There we go.
Figures that out. Thank you for the sub, Cushy Gamer.
Koss, thank you so much for the sub. I figured it out. Apparently, it didn't like the fact that I just opened up my microphone. But hello, everybody, and welcome back to the newest indoor adventure in the wild beyond the Witchlight, Part 23, the new act. Today is July 17th, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the games, or to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have done up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can also find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on that Patreon. Again, that is patreon.com/indooradventures, or if you're looking for another way to interact with the cast and crew and are trying to figure out the best way to actually ask us those questions, join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But let's say you already support us on Twitch, you already support us on YouTube and Twitter and Patreon and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Normally, if you wanted to support the show, I would say that you could go to Indoor Adventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com, but right now, all of the merch that we are currently selling through our Redbubble is going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is Indoor Adventure, no S at the end. We got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat designed upon them by our very own Cyberwolf1201, and you will see me routinely sipping out of this Indoor Adventures mug coffee throughout the entire time that we are playing this game. Well, I say entire time. It'll be until the coffee's gone, which is like 2 sippies from now. But until then, we got all sorts of merch up and available here on our merch store. I am coming through a little quiet as it would sound, so I am going to be working on fixing my audio gain. That's no worries. I'm sure it'll be fine as the game continues. But until then, as I figure that out, hey RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. Today I'm playing Vice, the Tiefling Rogue Warlock. We both go by he, him.
Hey everyone, I'm Sarah. I go by she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Lowry Moon, the Hexblood Spore Druid, who also uses she, her pronouns.
I am Mediaflare, they, them, and I am going to be playing Baladur Morthak, they, them as well.
I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, she, her. I'm going to be playing as Clout Imkin, the Tiefling Bard, he, him.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, it's been a bit since we all last played. I think it's been what, like we're on week 3 of breaks since we last played Wild Beyond the Witchlight. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So let's kind of go over and figure out where exactly we all were, what was going on, what is the scene, as it were. So last session we picked up Pamferdam, our dear friend and former adventuring companion, had met a untimely end at the hands of Bavlorna Blightclaw. At that point, your group then decided to take Pam's body, have a little funeral for him in the mushroom fields. Don't worry, I fixed the audio for everyone as well, so all the notes telling people to bump it up. It's because I had audio changed from the last time I did desktop stuff. But it's fixed now. It's good, hopefully, maybe. Keep us posted in the chat. But found Pam, brought him to a burial spot. At that point, ended up meeting with Octavian, the wood elf bard who was missing their heart. You were able to give Octavian back their heart, and you also freed what would become possibly a new adventuring companion, which that there being Balhadur, a dragonborn ranger who had been stuck inside of a cage with their adventuring companion, Sir Talavar, a fairy dragon of prestigious mustachery, who had also been trapped in one of these cages. It was at this point that Balhadur expressed that their goal was to try and figure out the whole Palace of Heart's desire thing that was going on, like contact Zybilna, see if she would be able to join them in the fight against the Fomorians at the behest of Queen Titania of the Greater Feywild, and Balhadur doing their best to try and join the group, and the group was a little, like we've lost somebody rather recently. Who are you to roll up and say it's Brittany, bitch, and then try and join us? It's working out rather well, in the Dungeon Master's opinion. However, the party itself does seem like they are still on a little bit of a downtrend. Having returned back to the inn at the end of the road, you were all going to be gearing up to set off towards from hither going to thither, now that you had kind of settled this business with Bavlorna, to then continue on your way to Yawn. It was towards the end of the night, I believe, Clout, Vice had asked you to go in and distract Octavian with your tiefling wiles, as Octavian had asked Vice for a dance in return for gaining his heart back. But Vice, you needed to go and speak with Lowry to try and get a good understanding of where Lowry was at this point. And where we ended last session was that conversation had been had. You were on your way back to the inn at the end of the road when Lowry, the voices in your hat, saying mean, hurtful things about your involvement with a party member of yours meeting a grim fate once again, only to hear that party member's voice quiet the others in one last staunch as a small mushroom with what looks like a fungal set of goggles has begun to sprout onto your hat as well. So that is where we last left off. That being said, there is a party happening at the inn at the end of the road. Bavlorna Blightclaw has been removed, and people are generally within good spirits. At least everyone else who did not really know Pam. Other than that, Balhadur's having a great time partying with these bullywugs and meeting all of these new people and being able to relinquish tales. But is there anything that the other three party members would like to do over the evening as we kind of just move forward into the next day? Any conversations had or anything like that y'all want to get into? Otherwise, we just long rest it, call it good.
Any conversations? Probably not, but Clout gets enough alcohol in him to muster up some performer's spirit, and he's going to distract the elf as he was supposed to.
Excellent. Make a performance check.
Okay. That's a 16.
16? All right. And Octavian will roll a similar performance check to see what the level of musicality is. He got a 15 on the dice. So, note for note, you and Octavian are able to keep up pretty good. And you can tell that, this is the first time, as a musician yourself, you understand what it's like when you've been in an artist block for a while, or you've been playing the same standards for so long, and then you get that inspiration, that moment where you can suddenly play new music, where you, like, your fingers have inspiration again, kind of what Pam was always talking about. And you can see that in Octavian. At this very moment, he is enjoying music for what is almost like the first time. It's not that he hasn't before, but it's just such a fresh and new feeling that it feels brand new to him. And he is just enjoying just this back and forth with you.
I think Clout acknowledges that, and he gives it his all.
Okay. And Vice, when you near the inn at the end of the road, you can hear that Clout is playing on the inside, and you recognize Clout's music probably better than anyone else.
Yep. Still as flat as always. Lowry, dear, maybe you should probably head back up. I'm gonna be out here a while longer.
All right. I'll see you in the morning.
Vice is gonna just find a stump, sit down, and light one up.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. And then, Lowry, was there anything that you wanted to do for the evening?
No, Larry's not in a partying mood, so she's just going to go upstairs to her room.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Vice, you're going to get your smoke on. Everyone else kind of either playing or going up to just take an early evening. And as luck would have it, again, nothing bad happens over the evening. You guys killed the big evil that was in this general area and allied yourselves with the heroes of Downfall. With that in mind, you were able to wake up feeling new, refreshed. Balhadur, if you would have asked, there would have been made room available for you here at the inn at the end of the road.
Well, based on the spacing earlier, I would have come down the stairs with a sack full of items and like place them on the table wherever the party might be sitting. Well, I couldn't find an empty room last night, and based on the description of your fallen comrade, I might have found their former room. I did not want to do anything with their possessions, so I gathered them up and put them in the sack for the rest of you.
Thank you, Mr. Balhadur.
There are several burn marks on the ceiling, too. Is that something we should be concerned about?
Let's just not tell Sue.
Very well, then.
So, Vice is going to tug the bag over to him and just go through it.
So the items that were left behind in the room where Pam was sleeping was a tinker's toolkit that they had used for their artifice creations. There was a partially finished doll in the likeliness of Clout, but with like a little hero cape on, little mini Clout, the superhero. Damn, I can't remember what Vice's was offhand all of a sudden. I was making something for you. Do you happen to remember what that was? Oh, God, it was from Knights of the Courtyard. Otherwise, there is a little mini terrarium like set up with decaying wood and some fertilizer that is marked for Lowry. These items all have Pamferdam's touch to them. So Clout, the hero, has like legitimate sharp horns that should not probably be in the hands of children. And the little tiny sword in their hand is real. Pam didn't really know how to curl hands on the toys, so they just went with the default, like put sword in a hole in the arm tactic. And the terrarium looks like it's got like it looks like it's been made out of the rib cage of some sort of like decayed animal. There's not much of an odor to it or anything like that, but it's got the aesthetic. Otherwise, I feel like there was another item that did Pam ever use the Cupcake of Invisibility?
He did not.
Okay, I didn't think so. So there should be a cupcake in the room still. Magically still soft and fresh, ready to be nommed on. You remember Pam winning that from their time in the eating contest.
It has, I want to say it has the what is it? Like the tactileness, the feel, the construction of one of those like butter cookies that has like really thick frosting on it. Oof. That you can get at like Albertsons or Kroger or anything like that, where you bite into it and it's just like, this is far too soft. But they're at like every church function, every family gathering. It's one of those, like, even if it's like 2 years old, it'll still be like way too soft.
Like inhuman.
Yes.
And wrong.
Vice just slides the terrarium over to Lowry and the Clout doll over to Clout.
And Clout, I will give you for the doll that if you absolutely need to use it, it will act as a dagger and deal 1d4 damage plus your dexterity modifier.
Oh, I'll put it with the other one.
Just shank somebody with yourself.
Okay, but hey Simon, homebrew item, the belt of returning. If you put the doll in the belt of returning and just throw it at people,
throwing dolls at people.
If Pam was still alive, they can make returning ammunition. So
we make the little doll returning ammunition.
Fly, my pet.
Fly, my pretty. Woo!
That's hilarious.
Otherwise,
no, I'll just put it with my other dagger that isn't a dagger.
You have a collection of daggers.
Quote unquote daggers.
Hey, what is this party's normal daily itinerary? Is there a team meeting that you all have, a strategy planning before you take action, or?
Well, you actually caught us at a good time. We are currently gearing up for our foray into Yon.
Ah, that's the other location in this territory, formerly known as Prismia, correct?
Yes, that's where Endlin Moongrave resides.
Understood. That's only the last of the 3 members of this coven, if I remember correctly, right?
Right, and hopefully we find some hints and clues about the Palace of Heart's Desire there.
Excellent.
That would be our last stop.
Do we have means of transportation?
Well, it's going to be a bit of a walk. We're supposed to meet up with the unicorns.
Mm-hmm.
We did lose the hag's swamp balloon.
Well, we can always go to a party store later and pick up a few. It's all right.
No. If you had seen with the bollywogs, they're the dirigible-esque shape things.
Ah, the large ones, I understand. So then we need to walk to a place where the unicorns are and then get transportation from there.
Aye.
Yes.
Sounds fantastic.
Maybe we could ask Will to shunt us over to Yon.
Right.
How are we feeling?
Well, I had a good night's rest. I suppose I've had a less stressful evening than the rest of you, so...
I'm fine.
Instant check.
But she was not fine.
Morgan Freeman, but she wasn't. 16.
Hang on, let me roll deception. That's a 5. Lowry is obviously not fine. Just looking at the terrarium made her start to sniffle.
Would you like me to put that away for you?
I was gonna go put it in Alessandra's hut before we leave.
Okay. So let's give it half an hour, and then we'll meet back up to leave.
And where exactly are you meeting up?
Right here.
Packing
Okay.
and leaving.
Yeah. Lowry's just gonna run off to her room, put the terrarium in there, and then come right back.
Yeah. Alessandra will join you on the way back.
I think Clout accidentally pokes himself on one of the horns on the doll and just like and then he
It
like,
looks like
puts
they
it
made
away.
those horns out of someone's old barbed wire fence or something. That's an interesting way of recycling.
That
Yeah.
tracks for Pam.
Pam was all about using every part of the buffalo. Didn't waste anything. Anyway. Finishes packing. Slings pack over his shoulder.
Vice has been packed from like last night. He's leaning across the bar, looking over at Clout. So how'd it go last night?
Just like glares at him.
Oh, that good, huh?
The music was entertaining.
Yes. Did you make any more music late into the night, Clout?
Clout, you know that at a certain point, Sue had X amount of drinks in her, Octavian had X amount of drinks in him, and the two of them actually, like,
Oh,
they paired up.
incredible.
I ship it.
That is also why you have not seen either of those two this morning.
They're not done yet.
I'm sorry, what?
No, not me. I'm not a musician.
Are you sure?
I mean, you deceived me last night with your playing.
I'm pretty sure I heard the flatness of your viol all the way from Alessandra's hut.
I wasn't flat.
You were like a semitone off, my friend.
Well, not everybody has perfect ears like you, alright?
You think my ears are perfect?
It's good to see a party get along. It's important.
When are we leaving?
And at that point, the door will open and Lowry, like, you are able to walk in and Alessandra is right behind you. And I feel like the two of you have been, like, talking about a book or something pretty much, like, the entire walk up.
And anyways, it's really good, and we should consider for book club. It's not just all about the steamy stuff that's in there. There's also a really good plot to it too.
No, I mean, that's why the steamy stuff is there. It's to keep it entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You can have an incredibly blasé plot throughout the entirety of the thing, but if the steam is, enough to fog the windows, as it were.
I'm currently loaning Vice my copy, but I'm happy to get it from him when he's done and give it back so that you can read it too. I also have some of the others that are in the series as well, but I was going to save those for him. But if you want to read them after, I'm more than happy to, loan them.
How about this? I'll read, if you let me borrow it, I'll read the first chapter, first two. If I like it, then I'll purchase the book myself. We want to show the author that we support their work and not just be sharing the same copy over and over and over again.
All right.
All right, well, Lowry dear, it has been absolutely wonderful having you here again. You're doing incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
I am sorry about your friend.
Me too.
But do your best to make sure their sacrifice was not in vain, and you will honor them properly.
I'll do my best.
Now, you said that you needed some help getting to thither?
Yes. Well, we need to get to
Yeah.
hither. We need to get. Yes, we need to get. Where are we currently?
We're
Yeah,
in
hither.
hither.
We're in hither. We need to get to thither to meet up with the unicorn who's going to help us get to Yon.
Yes. I can help get you to thither. I can put you towards where Will is. Sharing power of this plane, we're able to at least be aware of each other in some degree. So I can at least tag you to that direction, and then he can take care of the rest.
Okay.
All right. So, who all is going thither and yon? I'm assuming the three of you, and she points towards Clout, Vice, and Lowry, and then...
Mm-hmm.
And I shall be joining them as well.
Oh. All right. Well, if everybody can come outside of this wonderful inn, I'm sure that Sue would probably prefer us not performing high-level magics in the confines of her bar.
Balador will leave a silver coin at the front table on their way out.
Thank you for letting us stay here, Sue. Wherever you are.
And there is a balmy wind that seems to blow through, this very nice warm breeze that acknowledges your reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
And as your group kind of gets into a pseudo circle outside of the inn at the end of the road, Alessandra begins to weave this magic circle of hers. And as she does, she says, "Before you all go, I would just like to say once again, thank you for looking after Lowry and keeping her safe. And just remember," and she will directly point towards you, or look at you, Balhadur, "that if you do anything to hurt her, I am rather powerful, as it currently stands."
If you keep intimidating people into being my friends, they won't be my friends.
Oh, Lowry, dear, it's just a
third
suggestion.
Oh, there was a suggestion. I apologize. I must have missed it. I understand that they are your child and you are powerful. Was there a follow-up and ending to that?
No. Just
Well,
something
thank you
to
for making me
consider.
aware of some things, I suppose. Thank you for that.
And at that, Alessandra will one of her hands kind of extends downward, and you can see that her fingers extend into these long, sharp claws. And as she pulls them up, they seem to drip with this it's almost an ichor, but you can tell that it's ink. As you see what look like sketched vines begin to wreath around your group, almost like a quick growing ivy. And she says, I look forward to hearing about your adventures, dear. Be good. Kisses. And it completely enwraps over your group. And you can just hear what sounds like when there's a small animal quickly going through the underbrush, how there's that rustling sound in movies, the ground underneath you can feel is moving beneath you, but you are just standing in one place until eventually you hear the sound of waves on a shore, and that sphere around you dissipates, and you are at Wayward Pool. And by Wayward Pool, sort of half submerged into the water, you see Little Oak, and there are all of the members current of the Getaway Gang that have a rope swing going from the top area of Little Oak to then swim around in the Unicorn's waters, and Eladon and Lamorna are both doing their best to they got kids on their backs and they're running across the water, and Will's flying around. And then when they all see you, there's a bunch of cheers, and Will fly over directly to your group, and Eladon will make his way over. as well, and Will just... Well, it seems like you were all able to get back in one piece. Wouldn't expect anything less of, some of my best friends.
It's good to see you too, Will.
And he looks looks back and forth and glints over his shoulder to make sure that nobody's looking at him, and he'll come over and give you a quick hug, and then pop back and yeah, no, totally. And Eladon will then speaking telepathically to you all, and Balhadur, this is your first time meeting either of these two individuals. Balhadur, Eladon will say, "Are you ready for the next leg of our adventure?" And
I think so.
Will, who's that guy? Wait, what happened to Pam? And I think Vice will kind of sit down, crouch down, eye level with Will, hand on his shoulder, and sort of kind of tell him. And you can see that Will kind of nods, and in his mind it's just well, why didn't he just somewhere else? But then again, there is that level of just no, this happens, but we can fix this, hopefully, if we get everything sorted. And Will seems very resolved at this, and Eladon also bows their head in remembrance of your fallen companion. Okay, so you guys need to get to Yon.
Yes.
I don't know how to get there, but Eladon does. And I can at least get you to the barrier, the fog wall that's between the two. Also, you're shiny. Who are you? And he'll point towards you, Balhadur.
I suppose I still have some reflection in my scales. I am Balhadur Morthak, a knight of the Sealy Court, servant of Titania, queen of the Feywild.
Vice leans over. He's a magic dragon knight.
I knew it. Okay, Magic Man. And yeah, Will is directing that at you, Balhadur, specifically after Vice leaned in and said another thing. All right, so it's the four of you and Eladon. Okay. Before I teleport anybody, who wants to have Eladon's stat sheet in as their extra? Who wants the unicorn? Because I don't want to have to keep track of that as well as everything else.
I can replace a pincushion with Eladon.
Otherwise,
I left her at the tavern.
I've got an animal companion already.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, Vice, just add in unicorn. Eladon doesn't have a specific stat block.
Not like a dire unicorn stat block?
No, that'd be sick though. A pentacorn. It's a unicorn with 5 horns. It's metal as hell.
Also known as a stegosaurus.
Read Coda by Boom Studios. It's great. Anywho, so Will then, once you all have gotten your group, all of the members of the getaway gang come up, and they are all going to just kind of be doing that bye, see you, doing that big waves as Will musters up the powers of the green to then once again kind of wrap your party into this ball and then just shoot you in the direction of this large fog wall. And when you arrive and the brambles are no longer wreathing all of you, Eladon then takes a few steps forward And you can see that it is just like what is almost like an impregnable wall. It doesn't seem like, even though it is fog, like if you reached out to touch it, you would just be met with full resistance. But Eladon takes a few steps forward and says to follow him and to do your best not to get distracted or like to wander too far. Make sure that you can see him in sight.
Clout's gonna reach out and take Lowry's hand.
Oh. Hi?
You heard him. Don't get distracted.
That's smart. We should all make sure to have contact with one another.
Eladon, would you be okay if maybe we just tied a rope to you that we could all hold on to? I have 50 feet of rope.
Yeah, Eladon will nod. Like, yes, of course.
Yeah, there would be enough for Lowry to create like a harness around them, and then enough for us to hold on to.
Okay.
After.
Okay.
Y'all grab onto that.
Sounds good. So, as you begin making your way into the fog, and Eladon sort of leads, as he passes through the fog and the rope continues on, it is again like that thick opacity where you can't really see past it, and you just begin to follow along to the rope. And you begin to travel, and as you begin to travel, you can feel that whereas hither was sort of like muggy swamp, thither was that like very nice, very casual, like, oh, it's like midsummer and you're outside and there's like fireflies if you're from anywhere where fireflies generally are, so not the Pacific Northwest, or it's like late night like cicada sounds kind of thing. Like it's just that really nice warm feeling. It starts to get cold and it starts to get damp and it starts to get dark. And as you continue to follow the sound of Eladon making his way forward, you hear that each of you recognizes as thunder. And you continue forward that much more until eventually the kind of nice, like stable ground that you had under your feet begins to get rocky, and like you can hear bits and pieces beginning to fall away. And eventually, as you push forward, the fog breaks. And you stand on a path that wends between rocky crags on a mountainside. The sky is dark and full of roiling thunder clouds. You are greeted by a howling wind, and for a second, lightning splits the sky, striking a nearby mountaintop and illuminating a distant pinnacle of rock that has a foreboding castle carved into it. And the strange thing about it is that when lightning hits this top, you've seen lightning go from top down. You've never seen lightning go horizontal. And when it hits this crag, there is then a moment where the lightning like shoots off in a different direction. The other thing that you notice is that as you pass through this fog, the rope that you had attached to Eladon is not attached to a unicorn when you pass through the fog. Instead, it is attached to the back end of what looks like a four-wheeled cart that begins to just continue forward, just until the cart stops and turns to its side, and you can see that it has like a set of curtains in front of it. And as the cart trundles on with its squeaky wheels, the curtains separate. And inside of this cart, you can see are what look like marionette dolls of each of the four of you. and you can see that they're like doing like this little like walking jig, and there's a unicorn that has like, you can tell like two marionette operators where like the front half's acting all weird and the back half's like a little bit out of sync with it. But you see this darkened hand with a set of scissors quickly snip and tie a knot to a cart. And there's like a smaller marionette cart that has smaller marionettes of you. And it continues forward. And you can see that like there is just this like the four of you marionettes like pop your hands up and are like, whoa. And then the curtains draw. And the cart as itself, you can see like the forward flap of it just falls forward, almost like it is a fake town that they make in movies, where like the front of it is just like this weird, like you had seen it in a 3-dimensional space, but it just falls forward like it has just been one piece of wood this whole time.
That's not good.
This was not to be expected.
No.
No.
Then I suppose it is not good.
I'm sorry. The unicorn turned into this cart?
No, from the little stage play, something during our walk through the mist abducted our good dear unicorn friend.
Are you sure that's not the unicorn?
No, from the stage production.
What if we ask for the encore so that they can re-explain it to us, just in case? You think it'll wake up and activate again?
Cloud will go and knock on it.
It is
Hold
just
on.
like a bunch of like flat pieces of wood.
I'll cast a Dispel Magic just in case.
Okay. Okay, I'll do you one better. Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Are you sure that's one better?
18?
It saves a spell slot.
18. This is
Yes, it is, because I'm not making the Arcana check.
Yeah, Clout, as you are like patting at it, this is just wood. There's no like magical residue of it.
I'll just like pick up one piece of wood, sort of examine it. let it
Draw
drop to the ground.
Eladon's face on it. Me and Plank!
He's just gonna drop it to the ground and turn around and say, "Our unicorn's gone."
That's not good.
What is the likelihood that their life is currently in danger?
Hi?
Hi.
Pretty likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But knowing these hags, it's probably a fate worse than death. Wouldn't be the first time that this unicorn was kidnapped and used for...
He got transmogrified into a rocking horse the last time.
Ah, but they turned back then. Sounds like
Only-
these fates worse than death are reversible. That's a lot
Only-
easier than death, I say.
Only after we gave him back his horn.
It begins to rain.
Fuck. We should find some sort of shelter so we can regroup.
That is why. Should we take the wood with us, just in case it, like, literally is our unicorn?
It's not. It's just wood.
Should we take it to burn, then?
You know, I don't like that idea either. Let's just leave it here.
Very well, then. I can handle the cold, so I'll be all right.
We're gonna...
Oh gosh, does anyone have good like survival checks for like finding good terrain in this gross mountain?
Lowry does. Yeah.
Yeah, make a survival check.
All right. Let's
I
use,
shall
let's
assist you.
use that +6.
Hell, bitch.
Are you assisting for an advantage?
Yes, I am.
All right, 16.
So a 16 takes you a little bit, like this is unfamiliar territory. However, just anywhere, honestly, like if there's like an outcropping or something, and it takes you roughly about an hour to find a spot that you think is going to be dry. and you find like this outcropping, and eventually your group is able to kind of tuck underneath and get out of this downpour that seems to be happening. And it is at this point that as you are like tucked under, no longer under this rain, there is a thunderous crack that seems like it is no, like in distance wise, no farther than like a mile away from you, that you see immediately bright up the sky. And as it brightens, looking around, what is everyone's passive perceptions?
13.
13?
18.
13, 13, 18. Clout, what's yours?
Passive perception?
Yes.
14.
14. Okay, so I would say that Clout and Balhadur, as this lightning cracks, the two of you see on a outcrop of rock, maybe about 50 feet away from where you are, is the outline of two figures. One of them significantly shorter than the other, and what looks like there's like something the size of an orange that is like floating near the shorter one's head, and the taller one has what looks like the silhouette of a crescent moon towards where their head should be.
You said it was Balhadur and Vice that saw that?
Balhadur and Clout.
Clout. Balhadur will then turn and put like a chummy hand on Clout's shoulder and be like, "Hey, if you look just over my left shoulder, you can see a pair of figures. I don't know if you saw them as well. Can
No,
you
I saw them. I recognize one of them, actually.
You recognize one of them.
Yeah.
Are they friend or foe?
Foe.
I suppose then his current campsite is compromised unless we deal with that.
And it seems like these two figures are making their way towards your direction.
I feel like we're gonna wind up dealing with that, whether we want to or not.
A conversational combat type thing.
What?
What?
Oh,
We don't.
you know them more than I do, I suppose.
Cloud will turn around and include the other two in the conversation. Sorry, it's been like 3 weeks. I gotta shake the names loose in my head.
Moon Knight.
Moongrave's minion, I guess, is on their way here.
Do we know who that is?
Moongrave is the hag who controls y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
No, the minion that's heading our way. Do we know who that is?
Clout would have informed you of the general minions of the hags that exist within the Witchlight Carnival. One of them being one of Babylorna's Lornlings, another being Sowpig, and then the third, which was a crescent moon mask wearing ghostly
Ghost.
elf. Yes.
Okay.
Girl or guy elf?
Girl.
Girl.
Feminine and
Fuck,
masculine.
we should run.
Why?
Female elves are banshees.
What?
Female
The
ghost
more
elves
you know.
are banshees in the D&D lore canon. This entire time Vice looks what's the word? Not uncomfortable.
Disgruntled?
Disgruntled? No, it's just as they've been in this plane, it just looks like he hasn't been having a good time.
Oh. He doesn't like the cold.
This particular
Cold
like
Did
yawn.
bother him anyway.
What was that, Media?
You said like in yawn particularly right now you haven't been feeling hot.
Just doesn't feel it, yeah.
You're
And-
right, Vice.
The group of you hears a, "Don't worry, I'll be the one to talk to them."
Who?
And you see the 3 foot tall individual begins to like saunter forward, and they have this very like limber way of moving as they sort of like, it's almost like they're like a rubber band era cartoon as they like walk forward. And you can see that resting on a hip is a rapier of what appears to be a dandelion that is walking on two legs, a sinewy stalk in the middle, and just a flower where the head should be. And this ball that was floating near them is a giant bumblebee.
Oh gosh.
no.
I fucking love the Feywild.
And he looks something like this.
A friend.
Fight that.
I don't want to fight him either.
Before I even begin
a
this
bumblebee.
conversation, I just wanted to make a quick point. Friend or foe?
Hopefully, friend.
Well, I see you all have your shadow still, so friend it probably is. The name is Amador. This is Pollinella, my betrothed, and he points towards the bumblebee. And this, my shy companion, is Gleam.
What was the bumblebee's name?
The bumblebee's
Pollinella.
name is Pollinella.
That sounds like a medication. for hay
Pollinella,
fever.
and then
Amador, Pollinella, and Gleam. Now, before I get to stabbing any of you, if you do end up trying to betray me, and don't worry, I'm rather quick on my feet, as it were, I just wanted to point again, friend or foe. If you're friendly, just tell me your names and we'll call it good.
Balhadur will turn towards the rest of the group and be like,
What's the normal mode of operation? Do we have designated speaker?
That's never gone well for us in the past.
Speak for yourself.
I am speaking
Okay,
for
then.
myself.
as Spice says that, Balhadur will then turn.
And I am a member of the Sealy Court, a representative of the Queen Titania, the ruler of all the Feywild. These three are companions I've met along the road. It is up to them to identify themselves, should they?
Well, I'd really prefer it if they did identify themselves. That would make things probably a little bit easier, wouldn't you think?
Vice, herald to the Witchlight monarch.
Oh, Witchlight Gleam, that's like you. And Gleam, you just see, like, kind of walks up, and they are this, like, female elf. Very solid, not ghost-looking,
Okay.
with this crescent moon mask. And the most interesting part is they do not have a shadow. And Gleam says, I'm sorry, did you say Witchlight?
I did.
I used to work for Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Well, me and my sister did. We were part of an acrobatic act.
Bullshit. How long ago?
Well, since you know what the Witchlight is, I'm hoping you're from Toril?
Give or take. Sword Coast.
Close enough. It would have been about 20 years now, I would think. Well, at least it's kind of hard to take an idea of how long we've been here. I know that when Hurley came in, he had said that it had been 8 years since we had left. So I'm guessing it's been 8 years since Hurley?
Would have been before my time then.
You might know. Did you work for them?
Used to.
Then you
Something we
might
have in
know
common.
Hurley's brother, Burley?
Do I know a Burley?
Yeah, Burley was a
"You know
bugbear.
Burley."
Burley the bugbear!
They walked us into the back.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Is he doing all right? Last I heard, Hurley was very concerned about Burley.
Well, last I saw him, he was doing fine.
Well, that's good. At least that'll maybe assuage him a little bit. Oh,
I'm sorry. Have I seen you before?
I don't believe so. Have I seen you before?
Wait a second. I'm gonna point at the ground. What happened to your shadow?
And you can see that she gets like very just like oh please God, don't ask me about that. And Amador will step in and be like, as it so happens, Endlin Moongrave has scissors that he can use to like snip people's shadows off, and then when she snips the people's shadows off, she's able to sort of like marionette, like all the shadows that are left. Yeah. So our dear Gleam had her shadow done, snipped. And that was the last that she ever saw of her. However, if do any of you? It's a little beyond my skill set. I'm more of a if there was a boat or some sort of vessel that I could swashbuckle upon, you might say, one of those kinds of types. But if any of you know sort of like how to remove a curse, so maybe fix Gleam right up, but again, if I understand, it is rather high-level magic. It's a little bit outside of my forte. Pollinella also unable to be helpful. Don't worry, my faithful bride. Soon.
Well, fresh out of boats, I'm afraid. And curse removal magic. I don't know. Ask me again in a few years. I might get there.
Or, we could try and locate our dear unicorn friend.
They have the capacity to remove curses.
Oh, you came here with a unicorn. That's awful helpful. I don't see one necessarily around you.
Wouldn't happen to have seen a unicorn around here, have you?
No, not for some time. The last time I saw a unicorn, it was being ridden on like some sort of weird broom, almost, by there was a woman who was rather scary looking. She looked like a large puppet, but not like the large puppet inside of Endelin's chest, like a bigger, larger puppet. And I think she was one of the sisters.
What?
Rocking chair. you mean.
Rocking chair, yes.
Yeah.
Rocking horse. There's a puppet in Endelin's chest.
Oh, there are several puppets inside of Endelin's chest, yes. She at least last I heard, the creeping death herself, she's rather difficult to find.
Well, when we first entered Yon, it was with our unicorn friend, and the next thing we knew, the rope that we had tied along them was attached to a wagon that showed us quite a bit of a puppet show. Shadowy hand yanked the unicorn away and tied the rope to this cart.
That does sound an awful lot like something theatrical that Endelin would probably want to do. Creeping Lynn?
They are performative type.
Oh, very much so,
Just
yes.
rescued that unicorn.
Noted.
Do you perchance know where Endelin lives?
Oh, yes, it's rather hard to miss. It's one of the few standing things left. Motherhorn is its name. It's actually where myself and Gleam have been trying to infiltrate after a particular time frame. As you see, Gleam, her sibling, Glister, is being held captive. They were part of a performative group. What was the name of the group called? And Ambador will motion to Gleam. And Gleam says that the name, we were the Selena-Leon twins. I was the moon, my sister was the sun, and we would perform acrobatics together, and then during some of our peak acrobatics we would form an eclipse where I would be on one end of
Hold on. Go back. Say what you just said again.
my sister and I would form an eclipse. That's why Endelin has separated
That.
the two of us. Yes, no, I'm fully aware of that part.
He's gonna turn and look at Vice and Lowry, like just sort of like really emphatically, like
No, I don't see it, Clout. What do you mean?
you're
And-
the one who got this message.
What message?
What message?
With the beetle that whispered in your ear.
You're making no sense.
Well, you are trying to infiltrate this fortification.
Well, yes, as Ambador said, and you look over and Ambador is just going like, "Oh, stop. Oh no, we're in public, quit it." And like Pollinella is like just like buzzing around their large dandelion head. And Gleam says, "We have been trying to free my sister, to get her back out. Honestly, if Endelin has captured others, or inconvenienced you all in any way, know that we will do our best to help, but I am not much of a fighter. I am a acrobat, which in the olden days, someone may have considered me to be something of a more roguish variety, but that's just not really the case in these days."
Well, we could use some nimble legs and hands for some second story work if we're going to break into this fortification.
Or a report of things that you have seen on the outside that we can consider.
Things on the outside. Okay. Last, I was there. I didn't really see much. I mean, it's very hard to get to. There's like a long, craggy, winding stone steps that gets to there. There doesn't seem to be any way out of this place other than the big fog wall that's about an hour and a half or so that way. And she points back to the direction that you all came from. But I have heard of a few things. For example, there was an elven prince that once came to these lands. Algarthus. And Algarthus, he also was looking for one of... Well, Endelin offered him help, and, you know, it's... Her help is not as helpful as we are generally led to believe. You know, I think I really... I don't think I did the right thing coming here, for sure.
Well,
Sorry, was
now, little one. Oh, you were muted.
Why did you come here?
Well, my sister and I came here because we were I don't want to say looking for work necessarily. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they always treated us really, really well. We were actually invited to come in and speak with Endelin. Because she has her own carnival, and she wanted to extend us an offer, and it turned out that it was an offer that we couldn't necessarily refuse. Not to perform, mind you, but my sister is still in Motherhorn, and I don't have a shadow anymore. So we were extended the offer to come, and it turns out that it wasn't as above the board as, you know, we were kind of hoping it would be.
I'm really sorry. That sounds hard.
It's not been easy, you know. It's I've been waiting. It's not sunny here. There's no sunshine. There's a lot of wind, a lot of rocks, and the people here generally aren't friendly. That wasn't until I met Amador, but he has his own thing going on as well.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
when you say that to Amador. And Amador, you can see, like, has his back turned, and there's just this, like, and, like, Polynella, like, flies up, and he's just like, stop! People are talking to me. So, my whole thing, and he, like, does a like, the air quotes as best as two giant leaves can do. My thing is that myself and Polynella are betrothed. We are in love. This love transcends time, space, physical abilities.
Oh.
Something that not everyone can really understand. However, specifically speaking, the beekeeper could not understand. And so when I stole Polynella, or rather we absconded, isn't that right, dear? And Polynella, like, bounces up and down like, yeah, no, we definitely did it. We absconded. And he's like, ever since then, the beekeeper's been after me. He's been trying to find me, put me right down so that way he can capture my beloved and put her back inside of his uproarious beekeeper's contraption, his large stick that he has, that he shakes at people and summons bees out of.
Well then.
So you're here trying to get away from the beekeeper?
Yes, to lead him into a fantastical trap, possibly.
You have the trap set already, or
Yes.
you're trying to set one?
Well, I've mostly been running and helping Gleam, and I don't know if you know this, but rain and bees does not play very well together. My dear Polynella, she gets tired, and I cannot carry her and also defend her at the same time. So we make frequent rest breaks.
Well, speaking of rest, we have set up camp just round the corner here. If you'd like to get your partner out of the rain so that their fur does not get soaked, I'd love to talk more about assisting you. As a family folk myself, I understand the importance of love and consent and making sure no one stops you from achieving your goals.
Did you hear that, Polynella? He understands. They understand. Sorry, I don't want to gender anybody.
What's that?
Thank you. Finally, someone else who understands. Polynella, come.
It is a construct that big clothing stores have made to sell women less pockets. That infuriates me some.
Oh, that explains the magic item then.
D&D has a magic item called Dress with Pockets.
The more you know. All right, so as
they're
your
walking
group
back, Vice is gonna take just a couple of steps shorter to stride next to Clout, and with a hand over his mouth leans over. So who pollinates in that relationship?
It's none of our business, all right?
No, don't you find it a little fascinating?
I'm sure you do.
and Clout and Vice, as you are having this conversation, following the rest of the group to your campsite, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. When we come back, we're going to get right back into the Tales of Yawn. And, hey guys, guess what? You entered into a new part of the demi-plane, so if you want, you can level up during that break. And when we come back,
Heck yeah.
we're going to be one level stronger. So we're going to see y'all in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. Press the button. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We just entered a brand new area of Prismere. Our parties have leveled up, but honestly, guys, we took a little bit of a break. We just leveled. It's getting really difficult for me to be able to track all of this information that's coming in so quickly. Do you have any, like, RJ, like, do you know where I could go or a product I could possibly look at if I'm looking to, like, track all of that information down in a really easy to organize, orderly fashion?
Well, you see, you could go on to therookandtheraven.com, not the actual product.
This is!
Simon has it. where they have a plethora of lovely notebooks that you could use during your adventures. They go all the way from 5e, Pathfinder, some Warhammer stuff. I think they have kids on bikes now, and each of these notebooks are fully customizable using the wizard that they have during checkout. You can spec it out for DM notes, character sheets. You have NPCs, town notes. It's bananas. I think there's like a Scrivener one where you can draw maps as well.
Ooh.
I mean, like, do you want something like this, or do you want something like that?
Well, sadly, you won't be able to get this exact one that I have because they do cycle out covers pretty frequently. So this Ex Machina cover that I have, you won't be able to find. But
Hey, Simon.
yeah.
Ooh, I like the rainbow.
If I wanted to support a content creator and also receive 15% off my purchase, what code could I use?
Oh my god, no, I know this one. Okay, so let's say that you go through the process. You get all like your customizable like ringy bits, you get like a nice leather surrounder, you get like the cover that you want, all the pages, and you want to save that 15%, use the code HYPEGOBLIN at checkout to save 15% off your entire purchase. That means that it's not just per journal, it's not just per pages. I can go back and get extra pages, use the code HYPEGOBLIN, boom, 15% off my overall purchase. It's incredible, and it also goes to help support somebody that we all love and care about.
Who's
That
that?
name is that code is very familiar. You know, it
I
sounds like
know!
someone we might know.
Sarah, do you know anyone by the name of the Hype Goblin?
I hate you all.
I will add on to all of that. They were kind enough to send me this DM's journal with this lovely leather-bound cover on it. There was only 27 of these leather covers made, and 25 of them were all sent out to influencers. They are going to be auctioning one off, and they are also going to be doing a giveaway. So if you go follow them on social media, you'll get the update when this leather cover goes up for auction for charity, and also when they do their giveaway. So you will get two, or you can potentially get this that no one but the folks that work with them have.
Excellent. Now remember, it's code HYPEGOBLIN, not the HYPEGOBLin, just HYPEGOBLIN, all one word, 15%. Shop.therookandtheraven.com.
Yeah.
Check it out. But, guys, we have just acquired some new party members. We got Paulinella, a queen bee who's looking for love. We got Amador, the dandelion, a noble swashbuckler who's looking for love. And then we got Gleam, a former acrobat, Crescent Moon Mask, who's looking for their twin. And their missing shadow. Maybe love. Maybe love. But for now, you guys have pulled these individuals out from the rain and the cold and are setting up a camp to kind of like establish at least like a base zone of where to go. Gleam and Amador are able to at least help in the overall directions that you could possibly go and get to go to Motherhorn, the location of Endlin Moongrave. With that, yeah. No.
Vice is going to, as they're like around the campfire discussing things. Sir Amador, this beekeeper, what do they look like? We've just received a name, but never any features.
Well,
Keep on
as
lookout for
far as their name, honestly, I couldn't really tell you what their name was. I never honestly truly asked. It wasn't much for speaking, conversing. I don't speak the kind of flowery language that he's able to communicate with. His ugliest sin, one eye right in the middle of his forehead, tall, probably related to like a giant or something. Either way, staff with like a bunch, like a hive around the staff, and he'll like shake it and he'll summon
Can I
bees
make
at people.
a history check for a Cyclops?
You won't even need to. He's describing a Cyclops. Like, you, Vice, with your time in Ravnica, Cyclops are very common.
Ah, you pissed off a Cyclops. Okay.
I pissed off nobody. It's not his fault that he's coming in the way, in between the way of love.
Out of curiosity, would Balhadur know what a Cyclops is?
I would say Balhadur would. Cyclopses are pretty common throughout the Feywild.
Ah, formidable combatants, but a glaring weakness that we can take advantage of.
And that would be?
The one eye. You only have to stab them in one of them. You know, you stab one eye in a normal person, they can continue to fight, but you blind someone, it makes it incredibly difficult for them to keep up with you.
And Amador, a dandelion with no eyes, asks,
Is a lack of eyes something that we should be aware of as a weakness?
Oh, no, not if you don't have to rely on them. If tremor sense or blind sense or some other tactile sense is the way that you do it, you don't have to worry about your ocular concerns.
He speaks a lot of big words.
isn't that right, Polynella? And he's just like using his like little fronds to like brush off the water. And if a bee could purr, they're just these like little like
They can.
yeah, this bee is like very happily letting Amador just like stroke all the water off them.
Aww.
And
Fight.
Gleam like then turns to look at the four of you and just, yeah, truth be told, I let them out of my sight for about a day, and they came back with Polynella, and I don't want to say we've been on the run ever since, but whenever we hear the rumblings of a creature larger than us, it's usually time to go. But
How far away is this place that the beekeeper comes from?
rightfully, I don't know. I was not there when Amador went. I'm assuming at least a couple miles. This whole place really, it's fairly easy to kind of get the lay of the land in between the lightning bursts that happen, and then there is a boom and a streak of lightning, and there every hour, on the hour, day in, day out.
Every hour.
What is that?
That is how Endolin gets the power to work her carnival. She uses the electricity that is harnessed from the lightning that is being called down. And most of the lightning on the highest points that you can find, there are these large things, and it looks like a metal rod jutting up, and they have like these weird like circle things around it. And then like there's a large dome and or a large sphere thing, and the lightning will hit it, and it'll sit there for a little bit, and then the lightning will like shoot out in the direction of Motherhorn, and it'll like zigzag there, like it'll hit like other spots, like it's being transferred there.
Interesting.
From what I've seen. And when we went there, we saw like it's like a glass bulb that has like what looks like some like weird things on the inside. It's like a copper or something, and like it's like glowing.
Oh, okay. They have electricity here.
Fancy setup.
By the by, Gleam?
Gleam.
I
Yes.
apologize.
Glister is my sister.
Do you know if there is some sort of storm balloon that makes base in these mountains?
Oh, well, yeah. Base in the mountains, no. But unless you consider Motherhorn part of the mountains, in which case I guess yes.
Vice will look over to the rest of the group. I guess it's very imperative then that we head over to Motherhorn. If Charm is here, I don't know when she's going to leave next.
Who is Charm?
A femme fatale who decidedly stole some things from one of the hags, one of them being a very important part of our dear deceased friend. At least I want to do right by him and get that back.
Understandable. So then we should probably do a reconnaissance of the castle.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Let's not get too high up. Don't want to get hit by any rogue lightning bolts.
Well, they won't strike you.
That's what those rods are for, right?
Yes, it's what those.
Excellent.
I think a lightning rod. That would be a good name for it. Yeah, it's what the lightning rods are for. The lightning will be more attracted to the rod than it will us. I've seen creatures like flying around, and they don't seem to be any hindrance for the lightning. The lightning just wants to go to that sort of thing.
And if we mess with any of the rods, could we stop power going to Motherhorn?
Oh, certainly. They're massive, though. It's not like they're larger than a tree. Like a big pillar. You'd have to be pretty strong to be able to move one, is what I'm saying.
Oh, not move one per se. If I could get into the innards, so it were, and scramble around a bit, maybe I can mess it up from the inside.
They're solid metal, from what I know.
Oh,
We can just tip it over, destroy it. Wait, now, when you mentioned it, it sounded like it is a chain of electricity sending signals to each other, or is there some type of redundancy, so if we knock one down, they continue to work?
I might be able to overheat them. If it's machinery within a metal casing, I can just heat the metal until it starts to malfunction.
There we go.
And Gleam nods at this, and there are a total of 7 of these rods.
weird.
So, it might be wise to do a reconnaissance first before we destroy any equipment, because it will begin signaling that there's something astray. How much of us know how to fly or have the capacity to provide us with flight?
I could fly if you gave me a trapeze.
Oh, my apologies, I
Figured.
meant for the combatants here.
That's fair.
I can't do that. Not yet, anyways.
I can fly. Can't make anybody else fly though.
I can fly for a 10-minute span at best.
About the same for me.
Well, judging by the crag that it's rise up upon, we're going to have to do some aerial reconnaissance or climb the mountain on the side. I wouldn't want to walk along the rocky stairs straight towards the gate. Unless we just want to go with an old-fashioned meet and greet.
I wouldn't want to do that ever since Eladon disappeared. I had the sneaking suspicion that she knows what we're up to.
That's a good point.
She likely knows that her sister's already gone.
Yes, they might be in communication. Yeah, now we're 2 down, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I know that hags, some of them at least, have the ability to tear down a magical disguise, but maybe we can go in physically disguised.
Well, I'm not good in most costumes. My scales tend to tear up most fabrics. And makeup isn't exactly my priority, as my scales provide a good enough visage most of the time.
They're probably not going to recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
Really just the 3 of us.
I could turn into a cat.
Well, I don't know where alliances stand, but I am wearing,
And they gesture towards the Brigandine with the symbol of the Sealy Court on it.
identifying markers of likely a hostile kingdom to them. So either I go in with unarmored, or I'll need someone to assist me with disguises. I'm good at hiding as well, I suppose, so I can sneak behind the rest of the group.
It is raining. What if we just get you a poncho?
Do you have one?
No.
I've got a travel cloak that we can try and fashion into a poncho.
All right. And I'll play the strong, silent one so that I don't have to. I have a habit of introducing myself when asked, so.
If we need more fabric, we can rip up my tent.
Like your
Yeah, well,
tent.
based on this environment, we might need it again later for the weather.
Well, only 2 people could fit into it at a time, so.
But if all of us took the shrinking potions, we can fit 4 people in there.
Or just guard shifts, you know.
For how long?
An hour?
1 hour power nap.
At any rate.
So it seems we have the beginning of a plan. We think that it'd be better if we tried to disguise ourselves and approach the castle. Speak with Endelin first before doing anything else, correct?
I would rather not speak with Endelin. Maybe get a lay of the land, at the very least.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. If we can avoid speaking with Endelin, that's probably our best chance.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, if we aren't detected, then we can quick do a flyby and at least get an initial image of the place. Come back, talk about some ideas. All right, pause for a second.
Turn back over to the flower.
When was the last time your beekeeper had approached you? Like, how close have they gotten recently? So that we know how much time we have before they might catch up as well.
I'd never let them get closer than within stabbing distance before I take it to the shins.
Yes, but the last time you've had to say, oh shit, I need to go, they're getting closer.
Well,
how long ago was that?
Not the last time I've had to say it, but the last time that Gleam had to say it was about yesterday.
So today is our day of planning in action then.
And Balhador, with your heightened perception, you can hear what sounds like a buzzing and then heavier footsteps that seem to be coming in your general way.
Yeah, we might have additional guests soon.
Is it coming from the same direction that they had? Like the same
Yeah,
pathway?
it seems like it is coming from that same direction.
We have guests coming.
As Balhadur says this, may I stealth?
Yeah. Yeah.
29.
Okay. You are stealthed. And like Gleam is like oh fuck. You can see that she just sort of like pushes herself up against this like dry incline, like, if I don't move, maybe they'll think that I'm a petroglyph.
From the shadows, Vice's face just emerges. You should find a better spot. Sinks back in.
I'd like to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
So for any stealth checks that this group has to make, everyone gets a +10 bonus to their dex checks.
Good.
Stay within
Roll
30
with
feet.
Disadvantage.
Bump that up to a 39.
Okay. Sounds good. So 39 from Vice. Is anybody else making stealth checks?
24 for me.
Dirty 20 for me.
Okay.
It's +10 for pass, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh gosh, it already went away. Where's my chat logs? No. Okay. I rolled a 21.
Okay, so 21, got it. Sounds good. So yeah, there is just this like doom, 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 as you see a huge footfall come near where near where the entrance where you all have been like poking in. Then it pauses and sort of like shifts around, and true to his nature, Amador just pulls out their rapier and just like shamble runs forth. would anybody like to try and stop him?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Oh gosh, what do I have?
And you hear this Cyclops is like grumbling something.
Thorn whip.
I don't have Thorn Whip.
I can break stealth, throw the flower into the shadows, and take its place.
You know what? No, Lowry's just gonna lunge at them and try and grapple.
Okay.
Is that strength or athletics?
It's
It's
athletics
athletics, baby.
versus acrobatics.
Oh, I bet this thing's a wiggly
So
little guy.
wiggly.
It's an 11. I have a -1 in athletics.
13 for acrobatics. Yep. So you just go and they whoop, and they rush forward and just have at me, and they thrust forward with their rapier as they are able to get a sneak attack on to this individual with their rapier. So at least they're gonna try and attack. That is a 23 to hit for. It looks like they actually don't get a sneak attack, but they do 5 points of piercing damage to the shin of this Cyclops, and you hear this as like this exasperated like ouch, not uncommon, mind you, coming from this Cyclops. I'd like for everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah. Balhadur got nat 20, totaling to 24.
Okay.
Lowry got an 8.
I also
Right
got
on.
an 8.
I got an 18.
Balhadur, you said 24?
24. Oh, yeah, that's what I was pulling up. Balhadur notes. Balhadur. Yay! Combat. Pew pew.
Being that we have one enemy, we probably won't need a visual aid.
I don't think so.
The most we need to remember is that there's a big old cliff face on one side of this path
Mm-hmm.
with massive fall damage, likely, I assume.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's a bottom.
There eventually
Hi.
is.
That's a maximum
No, there's only
of
tops here.
6.
It's fine.
God damn it.
Sorry, the performative switch here. What's that?
All right, so there we go. Cyclops did not get very good
Yay.
on that. But funnily enough, they did get an 8. So Lowry and Clout, what are both of your dexterity modifiers?
+1.
Yeah, it's 2 plus 2.
8.1. 8.2. Okay. Sounds good. And then Amador. My new best friend. He gets a 17 on his initiative. Okay. Boop, 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 boo. Okay, so at the top of the initiative order, after Amador has rushed out and stabbied, Balhadur, you're at the top of the initiative.
All right. So the first thing Balhadur wants to do is look around the corner and get an eye on this Cyclops.
Okay.
And attempt to assess. Hello. Oh, you got a little hat.
He has a beekeeper's hat to keep the bees out of his eyes, and he has a big stick with the little hooks at the
Oh,
end
a little hive on it.
to keep a giant beehive on.
So what size category is the Cyclops?
He's huge.
Okay.
Huge.
Huge.
When I step out and assess it, do I see any structural weaknesses or suggested points of attack that would be beneficial?
Well, he does only have one eye. So there's that. Other than that, he's not like near any ledges. He's like he's right near the opening where you guys are.
So you're telling me to shank him in the nads.
If that's what you want to do as a DM, I have to let you do it.
All right, then. So Balhadur's smile isn't necessarily turned into a grimace or anything, but it is gone for the moment as combat begins. And without turning their back to the others, they quickly ask,
Does anyone have the capacity to create light as a distraction?
Whisper.
I don't think we need to whisper anymore.
A little will-o-wisp just appears.
Do whatever Bell says.
And there's like a who? Oh, new guy. Okay, nod. And then Balhadur, you just have this like glowing ball of light that you recognize as a will-o-wisp, but like it doesn't. You know that this will-o-wisp is like a fey thing and not an undead thing.
mm-hmm. What color is Will-O-Wisp?
Whisper is
Blue?
bluish white.
Bluish white?
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
color.
And I think, Skyby, I need you to blind that creature as soon as I get my wings on, right?
Nods.
Huh?
And immediately dart out of cover. Balhadur takes the. Hang on, let me double check action economy. Is this a bonus action to make them wingies? Wingies is a bonus action. Okay. For now, Balhadur will come out and charge towards the enemy. How far away is this Cyclops?
The Cyclops is like right on you guys.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then Balhadur is going to run up and try to keep some space in between them and the flower, like 15 if or more.
Yeah, at
but
most
enter-
we'll say at most the creature was like 30 feet away from you guys.
Okay. And then with their first bonus action, for this bonus action, they will draw out their weapon, which looks like some sort of stone material, like a gemstone, shaped in a bit of a spiral like a drill. And it is like a very small, like hand lance in the fashion of a fencing sword. And they like hold it back like they're about to like drive all of their force into it, like one fucking chisel strike. And they just look up and down the creature, note it, and cast Hunter's Mark on it. Boop.
And let's test the durability of your skin.
I'm going to try and make an attack on the little feetsies of this Cyclops.
Okay.
Kia.
Rolling merely a 12 to hit.
12 does not hit. So your strike like hits the side of the leg and like you can see it like tries to push in, but then like the leg flexes and it just pops back out.
And then reel back into the stance again. And that is Balhadur's turn.
Okay. Sounds good. So next up is Vice. And Vice, you've watched Balhadur now as well as Amador. Like rush up, stab.
From out of cover, Vice is gonna dash out, bring out the Psy Knife, and he's gonna, in the same motion, cast Booming Blade through it.
Okay.
Here we go.
So again, that is a melee attack, so you're using it like a whip?
No, he's just gonna run up and stab.
Oh, okay, cool. Make it easy, yeah.
Make it easy on myself. 21 to hit.
Okay, so 21 hits.
All right. Because I also have a friendly within 5 feet, I get sneak attack on this,
Yeah.
which is nice. 10 points of slashing. Wait, is that how that works? Deals an extra. Okay, cool. So 10 points of slashing damage. 6 points of thunder damage. And my sneak attack is 2d6 now. Here we are.
The booming blade, I thought, is for when they move.
At 5th level, I deal an extra 1d8 when I attack.
Oh, okay.
As part of leveling up with
Gotcha.
scales.
Okay.
10 points sneak attack damage.
Okie dokie.
And I'm going to use a bonus action to disengage away from them.
Sounds good. And Amador, like, watches you do this, and, like, you can see that on their dandelion face, there's, like, that nod of just, like, yeah, we are the same.
We are nothing alike.
We're not so different, you and I.
Finish it.
And Amador is his turn. And he shouts at this creature. You will never be able to stand in the way of true love. And he goes to stab this Cyclops as best he can. That is a 9. So he does not. That's all that he's gonna do. Next up is Clout.
Clout is gonna square off with the Cyclops and cast Enlarge on himself.
Okay. And the Cyclops just like looks at you and in giant just he's trying to speak to you as like we are like again like one of those like we are not so different, you and I.
Clout's like, I don't know what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's his action, so there's nothing else he can do.
You've got
Bonus
bardic.
action. What?
You can give someone bardic inspiration.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Who hasn't gone yet? Has Lowry not gone yet?
Lowry
He's
has
right
not
after
gone
me,
yet.
right? I'm gonna inspire Lowry.
Okay.
My bardic inspiration is now a D8.
Hey, that's pretty cool. Okay, so Clout, you are Lorge. Amador and Balhadur are at its shins, just stab, 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 stab. And Vice stabbed it really good and ran away. Lowry, it is your turn.
Cinematically, this all happens at the same time as she goes to lunge for our new floral friend. And she shouts, "No!" And a hex goes out towards the giant first. We're going to give disadvantage to things involving dexterity on this one.
Okay.
And for her action, she will be awakening her symbiotic entity as a worried expression crosses her face and the same white light takes over her eyes again that has previously come into combat when she's lost control. That'll be my turn.
Okie dokie. Sounds good. Next up, it is the Cyclops. And the Cyclops, seeing all of you swarming it, he is not too particularly pleased by these actions. Clout, you are the biggest thing next to him, so he is going to try and make a attack towards you. Does a 15 hit you?
Yes.
As he just sort of like swings this large staff, this great club with the beehive on it towards you. He is going to make contact.
Oh god, no.
This looks like a job for Dr. Bees. Clout, you are going to be taking 17 points of bludgeoning damage. And then concentration check for the enlarge.
Okay. 16, baby.
16. Awesome. He is going to try and strike out again. Although this time I think he's going to like swing down and try and strike towards Amador. And that is a over 25 to hit.
Oh boy.
Did anyone else forget their second attacks in their combat classes?
No, I only have one, baby.
Ah, it's just me then.
Okay,
You will be the
so
only one who ever gets to attack.
14, 17. So Amador gets hit for 23 points of bludgeoning damage as this great club smacks against your dandelion friend, and you watch as they just like, and like part of like their like frilly face has like kind of fallen off, and they're like crumpled slightly, like trying to get back up, and you see Pollinella like fly over, and you can like see that they're like buzzing around Amador's face. It's like, no, I have to go up and defend your honor, and like he's like trying to like use all the little bit of his life that he can in order to fight for her. Next up, Balhadur. You're muted.
Balhadur will turn and shout towards Amador.
You are no longer combat effective. Get out of here before you cause any issues. No offense.
And damn, you don't get a lot of lines of dialogue in one turn, so I can't continue. Since there is a large person, Balhadur will hope that Whisper will help them go for the eyes, boo. And they will take Galig and attempt to... Oh, should I bonus it? What should I bonus action first? Yeah. I am going to probably cast a spell, or does it need to hit first? Before the spell ends, 1 minute. Okay. Balhadur is going to hold Galik close to them and whisper an incantation, and in the grooves in the spiral along the stone sword grow very small thorny blades or thorny vines as they wrap around, and I cast ensnaring strike on my weapon. And then I'm going to give it the old Bardic College try and go 1-2 into this thing's shin, or Achilles. Yeah! God damn it. All right. First one is a 9.
A 9 misses.
Oh my god. And then the second one is a 12.
A 12 still misses.
So, got all of that set up. The end.
Okay. Next up, Vice. Clout is large. This creature is huge, and Balhadur is doing his best. Like it look like proper form, but like maybe
testing.
Yeah, maybe a little rusty. But all things considered, you know, still trying his best.
And Lowry is glowing.
Yeah, and Lowry looks like, you know, she might have lost control a little bit.
Just like scans the battlefield, looks at Lowry. We'll talk about that later.
There is again a flower. It's like, it's okay, my love. Like speaking to this bee that looks like it is like trying to like give him kisses along the cheek.
Bless. There's gonna be a small rumble in Vice's vicinity as he uses his Hexblade's Curse on the biggin.
Okay.
And we all know. So a 19 critically hits.
That is correct.
I'm doing a Booming Blade off of this as well. So here we go. First up, 14 points of psychic damage from the blade.
Okay.
Then 6 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
Then finally, the sneak attack is what we're here for. 10 points of sneak attack damage, and from my Hexblade's Curse, 3 non-spec damage.
Okay.
And then I don't have a bonus action, but I'll try and move away anyway.
Okay, yeah. They will attempt to swipe at you.
Cool. Can I have them make a dexterity saving throw
Yep.
as a Hellish Rebuke comes out?
The Hellish
With
Rebuke is if they hit.
disadvantage.
Yes.
Yes. So let's see if they hit first.
Go for it.
That is a natural 1.
Hit
Would
me!
you-
God damn it! Run away.
Quit trying to hit me and hit me.
Okay, so that is that, and Amador stands back up, and they, like, caress the side of this queen bee, and they say, if I don't come back, know that I did it for love.
Fucking run, you numpty!
And he says, I'm going to, into the eye of danger, and he, like, rushes
If
forward.
you're not dead.
He rushes forward and he's going to try and stab the Cyclops. He gets a 12.
Damned fool.
Does not. Or actually, he won't run up and stab it. He'll, like, you see him, like, kind of, like, wave his arm a little bit as some vines seep out. And he reaches into, like, his center headspace and pulls out a small seed, and he'll try and sling it. He still misses with the sling because it has the same attack bonus, but he is doing his best to be at a distance now, but still to protect his love's honor. So that is Amador. Next up is Clout. Clout, you have been clocked by this Cyclops, who is again one size category larger than you. But Vice is like, everyone else is like, yeah, like trying to get it. And Vice just like, I know how to gut a man. Like stabs into this dude several times and runs away. And then also in the cave, Lowry is like glowing. There's like nature magic that's coming off of her. Like you, again, as Vice said on his turn, you'll probably want to talk about that one later. But for now, it's fine. She's on your side.
For sure.
Right?
Like Clout's just like rubbing his jaw after getting clocked in the face and just sort of looking around at all of the chaos going on. It's like, okay. I've got a question.
Yeah.
We're on a cliff face, right?
There are cliffs all around you. You would have to push him quite a ways to reach
To really
like a
get-
sizable drop.
to,
Yeah.
like a pushing off.
So if all of us
gotcha.
decided on our turns to just start bullying him towards a cliff edge, we can get
Or-
it by the end of the
or
night.
run there to like bait him into going there. Nah.
He doesn't have a reaction, so...
I'm gonna grab him.
Okay.
I'm gonna grapple him.
Okay. He's going to try an athletics against you.
All right, cutting words.
Okay. So he gets, before the cutting words, he rolled a 14.
All right, so that's gonna be a 10.
Okay.
And my athletics check is at advantage, so it's a 23.
Can you turn yourself up a little bit there, Wings?
Sorry, I'm turned away from my
Oops.
microphone. Hello.
Hello.
I'm over here now.
So yes, I'm gonna grab him,
Okay.
and then as my bonus action, who is looking the most hurt?
The flower.
Amador. Yeah. Amador's fucked up. Your party members, out of everyone, you, actually, as
Yeah,
it would turn out.
I look pretty bad. Amador looks pretty bad. Has anybody else taken any damage?
Mm-mm.
Cyclops has
I
had
wanted
one
to.
turn.
Just checking.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Healing Word at 2nd level on myself as a bonus action.
Pineapple.
Where you find out the Cyclops has Mage Slayer. Just takes away that 10.
Counterspell.
All right, that's it.
Okay.
Such a dick move.
Sounds good. Next up, Lowry.
Lowry rushes forward with her quarterstaff in hand, tries to take a swing at him. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does.
Cool. That will be 5 points bludgeoning plus Hex damage is 1d6 necrotic. So that will be 5 necrotic points of damage.
Did you specify what
Dex.
Dex?
Dex. Mm-hmm. And also Halo
Spewers.
Yes. That is also 1d6. 6 points of necrotic.
I was like, how'd you get 9 on a D6?
Because the d6 is upside down on my screen, so it's look. I'm not good with. I'm too gay for math. Okay, I don't do numbers.
Tracks for me.
Let's see. I don't think she can do any here for bonus actions because she can't spell while she's technically wild shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okie dokie. All right, so the next up is the Cyclops. And Cyclops has been having a fucking day.
Since he's within 10 feet of me, I would like to deal 1d6 necrotic damage at the start of his turn.
Okay.
Thank you, Halo of Sports, for giving me that reaction. That's another 6 points of necrotic.
Woo! Hoo-hoo.
Oh, wait, is that a con save? Hang on. Yes, okay, I need a con save from it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. It'll be 6 points.
13.
That fails, so it takes a 6.
Okay, sounds good.
DC's 14.
All right, so the giant, the Cyclops is not very excited about all of this. I mean, he was just trying to get the queen bee back, so that way he could do Cyclops beekeeper things, and now he's being stabbed and not having a great day. But he is grappled, so I think his first, the first thing that he's going to want to do is try and strike out against the individual who is grappling him, to try and break that. So giant rules. Clout. That is going to be for 21 to hit.
Oh, that absolutely hits.
Okay. Sounds good. There it is. And that is going to be for 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oof. Alright, here comes my con save.
To make a 10.
19.
19? Okay. And he's going to try and strike at you again to free himself.
Stop.
Stop it.
So 25 to hit. And then for 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, natural 1 for a 4. Did
Damn.
you say 16 points?
Yes.
Wee 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 wee. Wee 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 wee.
And Clout, if you would like, you can still be like holding on to his back.
Oh,
I
totally.
can be, but it would technically break my grapple because I am now too small to grapple him.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Grappling would prevent him, but if you want to climb on the huge monster and be placed
Totally.
on top of him as you shrink, you can stay there if you'd like.
What could possibly
Alright.
go wrong?
If I'm large again, can the grapple continue?
You'd have to redo the grapple, but I would give you advantage on that if you didn't get advantage for it already.
I get advantage forever. Always.
Always.
Forever.
Okay, so that is the Cyclops' turn. And then they're gonna try and like run away a little bit. So Balhadur, Vice, you disengaged previously. So Balhadur and Lowry, and Clout, if you were not still on his back, all three of you can get attacks of opportunity.
All right.
Oh.
I gotta refresh my page. All right. Actions.
But because he did move, Booming Blade also fires off.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
16 to hit.
16 will hit.
All right.
Okay.
So then I hit with an 18.
Yep, 18 does hit. And then what does he need to roll for the ensnaring strike? Or is that...
Yes. So as ensnaring strike pierces, you're making a dexterity saving throw, which is imposing disadvantage right now.
Yes.
Mechanically speaking, you normally would get advantage, so it's just negated.
Hex doesn't do saving throws. It's ability checks.
Oh.
It's just ability checks? I thought it was abilities and saves.
It's ability checks.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just ability.
Well, he
so you
rolled
get
a
advantage on
2,
the
so
Well, then you have
Oh.
advantage because of size.
that's all right. The second dice was a 4, which brings his total
Okay.
save to 4.
So many damage. All right, so weapon damage.
Stay up.
So 7 non-magical piercing from the weapon. Then the ensnaring strike does 4 piercing damage. Just double check if you the vines shrivel away since they so they failed or succeeded the save.
They failed.
They failed. Cool. So now they are wrapped up in these vines and restrained.
Oh, good.
As it just like completely like grabs upon them. And then with a non-action is just a result of a successful attack. I will mark it as my favored foe. And then in Draconic shout, Sabashi na Sabashi!
All right. And because they are restrained, attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. Its speed is 0, and it also has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So,
Nice.
Lowry, you used your reaction for Circle of Spores?
Yes.
Okay. So you would not have your reaction, but...
Oh, that's
Vice-
right. Okay.
Vice, your Booming Blade.
21 points of thunder damage.
Jesus Christ.
Hexblade's curse is strong.
Okay. And their speed is reduced to 0, but that is all that they can do. So, Balhadur, you have just
That's just a
successful.
reaction.
Yeah. It wasn't even your turn.
Wow, what a
You got like a
setup.
second hit. You got like 2 more hits after this, bud.
So assessment, how healthy.
Oh, he looks
Does this
fucked
thing
up.
look-
He looks real
Might
fucked.
die.
Yeah.
Okay. Did it seem to process my language that I had just used?
It did not seem to comprehend Draconic, no.
Had it seemed to understand comment at all while we
No.
were all talking?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Let me look at my language list. I don't speak giant. I'm shooting in the dark here. All right. Then, from the lands we come from, Balhadur will make an attempt with Sylvan to. I only wrote cool things in Gaelic for dragons, so ski bop do bop. I say the same phrase. Do they understand it?
There does not seem to be any recollection on this.
Well then, I have delivered the 2 warnings.
Reel back. And long rest. Okay. So I will then just... It's still in melee range, right? Like,
That
it's
is
not
correct.
managed
Yeah,
to get away.
it tried to leave, and that's when you stabbed it and rooted it in place.
Okay. Well, then we will reel back Gaelic again and try and drive it into the leg of the creature, and Balhadur is trying to not aim for a tendon or artery in an attempt to do non-lethal this time.
Yep.
Oh my god, 12. And then the second attack.
Well, you get advantage on your attacks.
Oh, yes. Well, then my first attack was a 19 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit.
All right, I've got like 3 different marks going on here. So let's see. Basic weapon does 9 piercing. The favored foe adds 5 generic damage. So that's a total of 14 so far. And then flip over to my spells for the Hunter's Mark, which then does 2 bludgeoning. Weird. I think that's all the damages I can do.
Okay.
With that action. As a bonus action, do I want to do anything? Is it still alive?
Yes, it is. It looks
Okay.
like right on the cusp.
All right.
Target is primed. If anyone wants to attempt to communicate with it for surrender, I didn't respond to my languages.
And then just reel back and stance ready.
Okay.
End of turn.
No second attack?
Oh yeah, that was just the one.
Yeah.
Oh, this poor creature. Okay, so then second attack, go for that net 20. Oh damn. Okay, so 19 to hit.
Okay. Also still doing non-lethal?
Yeah, attempting to do non-lethal, so that is 7 piercing, 3 generic, and 6 bludgeoning.
Okay. So with that, as you stab again, there's just
This
and
creature unconscious from bloodlust.
well, it is currently being like it's held standing upright because of all of the ensnaring roots, but like its top half just sort of like and like falls forward, but its legs are still like caught up, so it is just like a large table of a man. It drops the beehive on the staff, and you are no longer in combat, and this creature is rooted until the roots cease. In which case it will then like fully fall forward. But when the large great club that has this beehive comes on, Amador will actually like saunter over with Pollinella, and like Rapier looks at the head of the beekeeper, like really just wants to like coup de grace, but Pollinella like speaks to him, and he will instead go over and like drag the beehive off of the great club and then pull that back. So now in your guys' outcropping, it's just a very active swarm of bees. But don't worry, this dandelion is able to communicate with insects and is currently like, oh, your queen is here, and like speaking to them. The rest of you, Lowry, your eyes are still like whited over. Clout, you are looking beat to hell after this giant was like targeting the bard to smack around.
Oh, for sure. And I was on top of him when he fell over too, and I just rolled an 8 on my acrobatics.
Well, thankfully
so...
he fell forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like you have to like worry about it. Yeah.
I'm not mechanically taking damage from falling, but I am thematically on my ass.
Oh yeah.
Vice is gonna just gingerly reach a hand out and tap Lowry on the shoulder.
She turns her head slowly, and then everything just slowly calms down.
Hi, darling. Are you okay?
I think so. Did we kill him?
No, he's unconscious.
Okay, good.
Speaking of, Vice turns and he will... he does a motion around his neck like he's pulling something, and then the walkie-talkie comes out. He's going to establish a mental link with the Cyclops and himself.
Okay.
If you'd be so kind as to wake this gentleman up.
All right, then. You've got about 45 seconds before the snare breaks.
Whack! Just punch it on the back of the head.
Hey there, Biggin. Good morning.
And it is like, and mentally you just hear, what the fuck? What is happening? God damn. Look, it's not what you expect. I am trying to get the queen bee back. There's been a huge misunderstanding. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
like, you don't have to kill me.
Hang tight. You have about 45 seconds before the...
My name is Mudlump. I have a house. Who will take care of the bees when I'm gone? If you kill me, there'll be no one.
Clicks it off real quick.
He's just yelling in giant.
His name is Mudlug.
Mudlump.
Mudlump. And he takes care of bees, and apparently there's just one big misunderstanding.
15 seconds.
What would that understanding be?
Click, click. What is there to be misunderstood? You trounced into our camp, very aggressively, mind you.
A weird flower man stole the queen bee. My bees are agitated. I can't make mead without the queen.
Oh shit! Click, click.
And the vines are now receding off.
I
of her
imagine
body.
that he's like Gulliver's Travels. Like, he's just like, ah!
So our dear flower friend stole the queen bee, which disrupted our dear Cyclops mead production.
I didn't steal anything. We're in love. If anything, she stole my heart.
Click, click. Our dear flower friend says that he and the bee are in love.
What? What's love? What are you talking about? What is that, like a fish?
Have
Can
you
I
ever,
eat it?
Have you ever looked at someone and felt your heart start racing? And you just want to be with them all the time?
Well, at first I thought you were meaning like if I want to like kill them or fight, be with them. What do you mean?
Love is a complex emotion. Vice walks over and starts picking off brambles and like ushering the Cyclops to sit down.
Yeah, the Cyclops, like, having been stabbed and psychically, like, fucked with, is just gonna, like, stand up, realizing that he is too weak to really do anything about it, and seeing Amador and Pollinella, like, oh, like, they're being, like, affectionate towards each other with these other bees. He, like, kind of squints and takes off his beekeeper's hat and sits down next to you, Vice, and just...
Okay, no, like, explain this to me. You say love, and it's not a food.
It's a feeling.
Well, how will I know when I have that feeling?
Oh, that's the real rub of it. Love is a very complex emotion. Or it could be very simple, honestly. But like I said, if you've ever been with a person and they make your heart race and you want to be with them all the time.
If this is all cyclically done, Balhadur would be great help.
I've never seen. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of like Cyclops, fellow Cyclops, giant kind around. I don't really have a whole lot of options. I've seen pictures though, and there are a few like kind of types that I'm going for.
Oh.
I think like, is that like, if I see a picture and it makes my heart race, is that the same kind of thing, or is there a difference between a picture and a person?
Kind of, sort of, yeah. You can fall in love with someone aesthetically.
Well, do you think someone could ever love me aesthetically? I only have one eye.
But you're a giant beekeeper who makes mead. That's fucking fantastic.
You think?
Yeah, I would love to have someone make me mead, honestly.
I mean, I don't think that we're in love, but I could make you mead.
This could be a friendship.
Is that kind of like when the bees work together? Is that like a friendship?
That's a work environment, but bee colonies themselves, they're all family.
Hey, Vice.
Huh.
What's going on?
I'm explaining to our dear friend Mudlump here the ins and outs of love.
I'm sorry, what?
Hold on. And another psychic die to loop in Lowry, Balhadur, and Clout with the giant.
Oh, look. Okay, I've been made aware of what love is, and apparently it's not like a fish or something like that. So I didn't know that like when you look at someone and it makes your heart feel weird, that, and not in like an angry, I want to kill him kind of way, that's what a love thing is. And I think,
and you see him like sort of look over towards Pollinella and Amador.
I want what they have.
Buddy.
No, I live a solitary life.
No,
no, it's just me and my pictures.
Just rubbing whatever, like...
Just a massive forearm.
Buddy, you can find love if you go looking for it.
Love is a many wondrous, splendorous thing. Love lifts us up where we belong. All you need is love.
Hey, if
Vice is looking at Balladur like, motherfucker.
do
You are not quoting Moulin Rouge right now.
do you think that you could look? If I make meat for you, will you find my true love for me?
Oh, buddy.
Oh, that is not something that we personally can do. That
That's
is up
something-
to the chemistry in your mind.
No, I know exactly what they look like. Like, if you could find somebody that, like, matches the description that I have in my head, like, would you be able to do that for me? I just want to know what love feels like. I want to know what love is.
Fuck, dude, chill out.
I've
Why do you
just
take
been
care of-
told-
Like,
Why do you-
that's a two-way street. Just because you love somebody doesn't mean that they're gonna love you back.
There's
But I-
actually
this guy just told me I'm awesome, though. Who wouldn't love me? You said I'm fucking cool.
there's actually many kinds of love though. So what you're wanting isn't necessarily love. It's just something you apparently enjoy looking at. Why do you take care of your bees?
To make mead. To make useful products that I can use to participate in the society that we have built here.
And how do you feel about the bees themselves?
I care for them because they allow me to do the thing that I like to do. But it seems like the bees have, they wish to follow their queen. And their queen is with flower pants.
Do you enjoy taking care of your bees?
Yeah, but it doesn't make my heart do the thing.
That's still a kind of love.
It is still a kind of love.
You can consider it platonic.
No, I don't want that. I want what they have. And he points again towards Amador and the Polynella.
So you're looking for a combination of romantic and physical love.
What is romance part of love?
There
If
are many
so, I would
separations.
romance the shit out of my love. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
That's the confidence you want to start with.
Vice
But-
leans over to Clout and just whispers, "It looks like he's looking for love in a hopeless place."
As someone who has 6 partners themselves, I can let you know that there is no guaranteed way to make someone love you, or a perfect way to identify whether or not you are feeling love for someone. It's a frustrating and elaborate game. But the first step is to travel to places where you might find people that you like or are interested in. Converse with strangers. Show them the things you are interested in and or good at. Ask to learn about theirs. You might learn a few things.
And don't be a dick.
That too.
That is
This
very
is a
important.
lot of information to take in all at once. What if... Okay. A chef? I like making food, and I would like somebody to be able to make food with. Big. Giant woman. Or... giant. Preferably.
A giant woman.
A giant
Giant woman.
woman.
Giant woman.
You know, I don't know. You guys seem kind of cool, so I'll let you in. But I have there are a lot of giants that are around, and they all have very different body types. But they aren't really like me. But there are other giants that are here in the Feywild that their body types are closer to mine. And sometimes, like, their skin is purple, and they have, like, a big eye on one side. And, like, they're just so gorgeous. Like, you've never... There is
Can you roll a history check for Fomorians?
Yeah, you certainly can. Balladur, you're just like, oh, okay.
17.
Yeah, Vice, you've heard of what a Fomorian is, and it seems like this Cyclops has it bad for Fomorians.
So if you ever find like a Fomorian giant woman chef, like one beautiful eyes, let her like, could you tell her about me? Like, you said I'm fucking awesome, so like maybe you could, like, I don't know,
Hype you up?
yeah, that one. You could be like a hype goblin or something.
You know what? A hype goblin we can be. We cannot guarantee anything, though. There's a possibility that we will not be able to keep a Fomorian alive, but if they are willing to converse,
I don't want to fall in love with a dead body. I don't want
no,
that.
if I kill a Fomorian, I will not transport it to you. I'll let them talk first, and if the talks don't go well, then I'll kill them.
Thanks. Just like mention how like cool my eye is, and you know what? Oh, hold on, you guys. You all like you're. Is this where you're staying? Is this where you guys live? You could tell her about how hospitable I am. I know that you all almost just got like really close to killing me. But if you'd like, I could treat you to some stuff at my house. I've got mead and shelter, and you know, maybe you could convince the bees to maybe work for me a little bit more. And then I could make really good mead, and then my future giant woman, true love, would like it too.
You know, we do need shelter and food.
I can like give you a thing to help. That's what you do on a quest, right? You give like a quest reward.
Yeah, no, and like
Sure.
hospitality and reciprocity and all
Yeah, those ones. So like if I give you a thing, will you do it for me?
We can
They will
try.
absolutely consider.
Okay.
And he'll like lean down, pick up his beekeeper's hat, and sort of like set it on. And just,
well, I'm gonna need my staff.
and he like reaches up. It doesn't have the bees on it anymore. And
If you like, I can take the bees with me. We can all go together, but just so that way, like, you guys don't seem like you're like, you gotta have proper protection when transporting bees. Let me tell you.
Sure.
You guys come back to my house. Take a load off. Some mead, you know? I get to see, like, the kind of pad that I live in.
Excuse us real quick.
Yeah, no, take your time.
he's like, you see that he's like rubbing his shins where there's like a shit ton of cuts.
Several bee stings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a house for the night.
Aye, and we do need a temporary base of location while we get this planned out.
So, what did the old dog have to say to himself?
There was a bit of misunderstanding. He just wants the queen back so he can continue his livelihood.
Too bad she's mine. We're in love. Going to go run off together.
Could Paulina please explain to the other bees that she's leaving and they need to pick a new queen? It should only take them a couple days to...
It's not a democracy.
No, but a hive without its bees can start the process of... Or a hive without a queen can start the process of replacing the queen within a few days. But they need to know that she's not coming back.
Don't worry, Pollinella. No one could ever replace you.
And he just like walks over to the beehive. Clout, I cut you off. I apologize.
I don't remember what I was saying. It's important.
Okay.
Oh, I remember now. Sorry.
JK.
Well, we've already proven we can take him out if we need to. And I really want to get out of the rain.
Same.
Same.
Give me a connection.
Click, click.
He turns to the Cyclops and he says, all right, I got one thing to say to you. Pineapple. I'm going to cast Healing Word on his shins.
I don't know what a
Yep.
pineapple. Whoa, wow!
We're gonna take you up on your offer.
Yeah, no, it's just like it shows that like I'm a cool guy, you know. But like you guys and other small non-guys, you're all great. You other than like trying to kill me, I think we're on a much better foot here. I have a question
Obviously.
for you.
And he's like staring at you directly, Clout.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been in love?
I don't know.
And I think that is the perfect place to call it for tonight's session. So, with that, I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and Dragons. We did it. We finally made it to Yawn. We've made some great friends along the way, but we have some great friends here at the table as well. Speaking of which, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at rjustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerd things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. Catch me here again tomorrow for our Four Keeps campaign, where we're gonna try and take down a Black Dracolich. Fuck.
Fucking
Other
hype.
than that, on Thursdays over at GGK, we did Monster Camp, which was fun. Hopefully, we get back our players, and so we can start our Elegant Creatures game, which is an Urban Shadows hack with good society mechanics. It'll be great. Other than that, Wednesday, we're starting our new game, our session 0 over at GGK of Parslings. It's called Ward 47. Parslings is a deck building TTRPG where you don't roll dice, you draw cards, and depending on what you draw is your success. I'm thinking about making a mill deck where I'm just going to top out and kill myself on round 1. I've done it before in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fun. Besides that, August we will be returning over at the TheHypeGoblin for our Nexus Adventures. So yeah, let's do it, folks. Do it to it. DanaeKeener.com.
Oh gosh, that means it's me next. Hey everybody, I'm Sarah. I have been Lowry Moon. You can find me all over the internet as TheHypeGoblin, playing video games and TTRPGs with my pals. On Saturdays, there's a Numenera game GM'd by the wonderful Cosque Sigma in chat, aka Laughmaker D&D on Twitter. She is running us through the most wonderful sci-fi adventure I have ever been a part of. Definitely swing by and check that out at 5:30 Saturdays. Sundays, our Nexus Adventures will be returning on August 7th. As RJ said, you can find me here playing Well Beyond the Witchlight on Sundays. And currently on Fridays, you can find me as Tanner Grayson Glimpspark, the very first character that I ever created for a D&D campaign. I've brought her back for a Candlekeep Mysteries mini-series that is running for 12 episodes over on Girls Run These Worlds on Twitter. Or on Twitch, sorry, the other T. DanaeKeener.com.
Howdy and how do everybody? I am Mediaflare. I am an entertainer and voice actor. You can find me here on Sundays and Thursdays. Thursdays, I run a Call of Cthulhu game with a few of the cast members here and some others where they are in the SCP universe. I also have my own Twitter and Twitch that you can follow me on at Mediaflare, where I play a little bit of casual games on Friday for a decompression for anyone who needs it, and do a little bit of semi-role play with video games on Mondays. If you live in the Detroit area and Theater Bazaar is coming up, I am an entertainer performer during that, so you can feel free to find me there and talk to me in person if you'd like to. Other than that, there are a couple other things brewing in the works, so look forward to hearing those soon. DanaeKeener.com.
Everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me over on Twitter as @Danae Keener. I've got a pinned tweet there that says all of the games that I'm going to be in. I should double check that and make sure that the schedule is correct, because we are in fact going to have session 0 for that Parslings game, and I'm very excited for it. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures. We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. Currently scheduled at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. However, for the next little bit, it'll probably be closer to 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time because I recently got a new job and I'm going through training, so I don't really have that flexible of a schedule just yet. So we're going to be moving it forward that half hour. Other than that, same content, same players, all of that good jazz that I greatly enjoy. Speaking of things that I enjoy, we also have our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us at patreon.com/indooradventures, or you can join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But with that, I would like to once again say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!